Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and we will be discussing 90 Day Single Life, Season 5, Episode 15, Till All Part 1. And yes, we will be talking about all the couples in this one video. Let's get into it, y'all, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all the y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice.
Well, welcome back, everybody. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. This till all was complete chaos. I don't know if y'all liked it or not. I got a good kiki in the caca, and my freaking mouth was on the ground. And it takes a lot to shock me about anything. Talking all day. 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Single Life, whatever. It is. I thought that this tell all was good. If I had to rate this tell all, I probably would rate it a 3. Um, y'all let me know downtown in the comments section what you all would rate it. Okay, you just I love that dress, shirt, auntie, love the colors. I got so many compliments on it today. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. So let me bring up my notes. So the Till All was hosted by Ross Matthews. Of course, he stepped in to the hosting chair for this reunion. You know that we have had in the past, not last year, but the previous year, Sean Robinson. Matthew spent 25 years in television, and he has built an extensive background in entertainment reporting, reality television judging, and talk shows. He was a breakout on The Tonight Show back in 2020, no, in 21. And he has done RuPaul's Drag Race. He's been on the Drew Barrymore show, and he calls himself a super fan of 90 Day Fiance. Y'all let me know whether or not y'all liked him, didn't like him, doing what he was doing with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. I thought he was okay. I thought that he was fanning out in the beginning. While Sean has been a staple, I like to see that they're trying different people. That really is moving into a positive direction. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll be doing it, right? So I think that I like the fact that they are changing it around and trying new people. I think that Sean has kind of played out in my mind. I know everybody does not agree with that, but for me, I just feel like she doesn't challenge them enough, or maybe it's just her style that doesn't work for me. But everybody has their opinion. I thought that he did a good job doing it, because it is hard wrangling these people together. But anyway, without further ado, let me go here onto my review. The first couple I'm gonna talk about, y'all, is Sophie and Pedro. Now, Sophie came with an attitude, okay, not an attitude of gratitude either. She came with an attitude and was really shaming, or not shaming, blaming Pedro for everything that happened with them. He should have did this. He could have did that. He's ghosted me. He did this. He did that. And I just was like, Sophie, you got to get over this. You played a part in this. You thought that this was a cat and mouse game, and it just wasn't. It all completely backfired in her face. She opened up the whole till all right with tension, like she really did, from the time that she was riding in the vehicle with her little eye patches on. I just was like, Sophie, get over it, okay? It did not, Pedro did not play the game with you. You said that you had already made it clear that you wanted to be single, so you single. I mean, it just is what it is, in my opinion. So, like, even before the show started, right, she had gotten an assigned dressing room, and she made it very, very awkward. They did not want her near Pedro, or Pedro requested that she not even be near, that she not even be near him. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's his prerogative, right? If he don't want her near him, he don't want her near him. And so Sophie admitted that, she had not spoken to Pedro since the DR trip. And Pedro confessed he truly believed that their connection would have turned into something real, like a real relationship. I disagree with Pedro because I think that he just wanted to come back on the spotlight. I'm understanding that there is going to be a spinoff show with Pedro, his mother, and his sister, because they are all trying to, he's trying to bring his mother to the US. So I think that this is a way of them reintroducing Pedro. Y'all let me know downtown in the comments section. I go live so that you go live right along with me. So please feel free to drop your comments and stuff, and interact with the video and interact with me, okay? But I do believe that they are trying to bring Pedro back out. And this is, like I said, in preparation for the show that is going to be a spin-off, I guess, a special, where he is going through, I think, the visa process with his mother. It's a way of introducing both his mother and his sister back into our lives again, like we missed them. We didn't. So Pedro explained that when Sophie came to the DR, right, he thought she was emotionally ready to move forward with him. He described her as an amazing woman, and said he had genuinely felt for her. But Sophie admitted that she was still emotionally recovering from her divorce with Rob, and had not realized Pedro was expecting something serious. I don't know how. The man is not going to invite you to the DR if he's not serious. I think that Pedro was very clear about what he wanted. I think that Liz wasn't. I mean, Sophie wasn't. And I think it's just the way that Sophie communicates and does not communicate at the same time. She's very, very immature, doesn't, isn't able to articulate her wants and her needs. Why I sound like I'm wheezing? But I just was like, while she was telling Pedro, right, that she wanted to be single and stuff like that, she wanted him to fawn over her and run behind her and all of that kind of stuff. So as they played, the trip, the stuff from the trip, they watched Pedro go all out for Sophie, right? With the van and all of that kind of stuff. He was decorating cars, planning romantic moments, gave her some jewelry and all of that. And he was really trying to show her affection in his way, right? But you need to know what a person's love language is. And I don't think that Sophie's love language is gift giving. I think it's acts of service. I don't know. I'm just observing. Y'all let me know what y'all think it was. But Sophie admitted that looking back at, the footage and all of that, it made her cringe because she realized how emotionally conflicted she had been at the time. So Pedro said that he felt hurt and confused because Sophie kept giving him mixed signals. One minute she seemed like she was emotionally invested, and the next she would pull away. So Sophie explained that she panicked when she realized that Pedro, a man, thought that they were becoming exclusive. She said that she genuinely liked him but wasn't ready to jump into another serious relationship after everything she had gone through with Rob. And I think that she should have clearly articulated that before she agreed with TLC to film this, to meet him in the DR and everything. She should have been very, very clear about what it was. I think that sometimes as women, right, we got to gauge the men that we are with and we have to speak their language. And I know that, we women have a right to say, I don't want to be in this relationship. I want to take it slow. I just want to be friends. But I think that we have to learn, right, how to communicate that in a way where he absolutely understands. Because I think, in my humble opinion, if Sophie wasn't so conflicted as she admitted to, right, that she could have done a better job at communicating all of this to Pedro. Pedro never, overstepped his bounds with her. He never got, aggressive with her, which I thought was good. But it just was what it was. The situation became even more complicated when Sophie admitted that she had went on another date during the trip, talking about, I just wanted to feel single. Well, guess what, Sophie? If you single, you single. It ain't a feeling. It's a fact. And the fact of the matter is, she wasn't even divorced from Pedro. I mean, from Rob. So you want to feel something that you're not. You're still a married woman. You just want to go out and sow your royal oats. Because later on in the episode, she admitted that if the sister, Nicole, had not stepped in the way that she would have cracked Pedro's eggs. You understand what I'm saying? So while a lot of women want to defend her, you got to listen to what come out her mouth. You can't defend the undefendable, right? She has no defense. She was ready to sleep with this man. If his mother and sister had not done, I'm gonna go into that, but had his mother and sister not done what they did, right? Being the aggressive, trifling women that they are, she was willing to sleep with Rob. Talking about miscommunication. You talking about miscommunication? That's miscommunication on Sophie's part. Now she, like I said, she likes to play that cat and mouse game, and this time she got caught in a trap because Pedro went on and moved on. Do I think that Pedro really liked Sophie? I don't know. I don't think so, but he played his part, and she didn't. And she wasn't, and she just wasn't upfront about how she felt about him. And y'all know, for some people, sex complicates things, so you can't just be hopping in the bed with everybody. Liz, you can't hop in the bed with everybody, like, you just can't. You have to make sure that you understand that person's language. And then you got to be consistent with your own. You can't be, I want to feel single and all this kind of stuff. And then the next thing you know, your plan was to sleep with the man. Like, that's how people get hurt. Like, for real. Pedro said that when she went out with that guy, that was the moment everything changed for him. He felt disrespected because he had been completely open about his feelings while Sophie was still exploring other options. And, basically the tensions exploded once Pedro's sister Nicole came in there. Because Nicole immediately accused Sophie of playing with Pedro emotionally and claimed that Sophie never intended to take him seriously. Sophie pushed back real hard on that, though, saying that Nicole was too involved in Pedro's relationship and purposely sabotaged every woman he dated. And that is true because Ross ended up going back, rolling back the bean footage of Nicole basically being in every relationship, her and her mother. For them, this is a sport, this is a game. And what's the child's name? Varya? No. Yeah. Child, when I tell you that that weave was absolutely horrific, Varya weave was sitting on the top of her head like a toupee. The textures weren't blended, like she looked raggedy. And I meant to say raggedy. I was so embarrassed for her that her weave was looking. I was thinking, when they were in the back and they were talking, and she was getting in people's conversations and stuff. I was like, okay, so maybe she's going to go back there and have the girls groom her. No, she came out there like that on purpose. Because when Kim came in, Kim sat in the chair and started getting herself together. She made a comment and said, "Oh, I can fit in the chair now." Kim, you was always able to be. She is just so about boosting herself. She doesn't care how she come off. Look at that fly. Let me turn this back on. I'm just gonna have to be cold. I don't know. Y'all, am I coming through clearly? Because it seems like something is going on my end. Give me a thumbs up, Ray Della, if I'm coming through clearly. Because the other day I uploaded a video and it was so botched. Hey, Beverly. Okay, thank you, y'all. But several of the thank you, Beverly. Thank you, boo boo. Tell my girl I say hey. Um, several cast members jumped in, right, into the conversation as they usually do, saying that Nicole escalated the situation unnecessarily during the Dominican a Republic trip, and she did. Sophie wanted to argue the fact that Pedro failed to defend her when Nicole attacked her, and that moment changed how she viewed him emotionally. I agree with her on that. She said that the gifts and the romantic gestures meant less to her than the emotional protection and support. And I absolutely agree with her about that. Pedro, looking at hindsight being 2020, wished that he had handled it differently. He said he had already had a conversation with Nicole and was like, hey, Nicole, if you got a problem, send up a smoke signal, right? But of course, Sophie, being the type of person she is ready to battle and go toe to toe with people. So Nicole insisted that she was only really trying to protect her brother because she believed that Sophie was still emotionally attached to Rob. And everybody on the stage was like, no, we don't think it was anything like that. Whoop de whoop and boo de boo boo boo. I don't either, but it's not an impossibility. Don't get it twisted. It's not impossible. Now I'm just gonna go head on and leave that right there where it is. Sophie admitted that part of that was true, but she confessed that she was still healing and acknowledged she had unfairly compared Pedro to her ex throughout the trip. So, of course, Ross is feeding into it. Everybody's feeding into it. They're doing what they do with the boo 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 boo. And then Pedro introduced a new girlfriend, child. He revealed that he is dating some daggone woman by the name of Valentina, who was absolutely beautiful. I liked her dress. I liked her look. I like everything about her. She is from Colombia, and he described her as a love of his life. And when they asked him, was Chantel the love of his life, he said Chantel was a love, but not the love of his life. Literally, Pedro sat there and grinned like a chazzy cat the whole entire time that Valentina was on it. She was very polite, seemed like she had gotten herself together. Nicole basically immediately attacked the girl, in my opinion, and didn't approve of the relationship. She said that the girl looked like an escort. If you don't have proof of stuff like that, shut the up. You the one looking escorty. You don't even look like yourself. You've had thousands of dollars in plastic surgery and you still ugly in the inside. I don't know why they don't do revisions to people. They need to do revisions to people on the inside. But Sophie, wish them luck. Sophie, sit down. But Valentina, right? She came on there virtually, right? And she appeared, just like Pedro, to be absolutely in love and smitten with the man. Pedro said that this relationship felt different because he learned from his past mistakes. I don't think so. I think Pedro is still the same person. I think that he's a get over type of person. I mean, look at his mother. The apple don't fall far from the tree, okay, until you pick it up and relocate it or bite into it. But he said that he learned from his past mistakes and promised he would protect this relationship better than the one he had in the past because Pedro and Valentina are planning to go and visit his mother. So the question absolutely was asked whether or not Pedro was going to protect this young lady, right? And he said that he would. He said that if his mother and them came with the rah-rah and because he wants his mother blessing. And he said that if his mother come with the rah-rah, he gonna come back with the rah-rah. We'll see, because I'm sure that they gonna film it for us. Even with like everything that was going on, Sophie and Pedro both admitted that they did really have real chemistry. Sophie, like I said, even confessed that Pedro's kiss meant more emotionally to her than the kiss that she had shared with the man on the trip. She just was out there trying to be like Liz, right? Live that whole life. And it just wasn't working for her because she just don't have a personality and as a woman to sustain that. But both of them ultimately agreed, right, that they were simply in two very different emotional places at that time. And I'm happy for Pedro to be with this girl. I don't trust him as far as I can spit, but I'm hoping that, it is what it is. The next thing that I want to talk about is Kim and Jamal. Kim has this arrogance about her that's undeserved. Everything is about Kim. She don't want to be judged, but she put her kids up, two children up for adoption. She came to the tell all. She was already emotionally on edge, if you ask me. Backstage, she had already admitted that she was terrified about revisiting everything that could reopen wounds between her and Jamal. Whatever, whatever. Kim, you did the crime. You gotta pay the time. She wants to cry her way and get sympathy instead of standing up like a big girl, right? All these years you hear these kids. You need to stand up as a big girl and take accountability and go head on and get judged, boo. She's so worried about people seeing, she's so worried about her image, but her image is so flawed. She's such a flawed person. But guess what? We all are. We all got our stuff. We all got our trash, but we don't do the stuff that Kim do in order to maintain that image that she has of herself. All the way through the season, Kim revealed deeply personal information, right? About placing two of her children up for adoption years ago. But if it wasn't for the son that reached out to her, she would have never said nothing about it. All these years, Kim been on this show, that show, Nick Nat Patrick, give it all about, and she never said nothing about it. Now all of a sudden, they want us to give Kim a bozo button because she's being transparent. It's about goddamn time she wasn't even transparent with her own son. Her whole life been a lie, in my humble opinion. She admitted, right, the experience filled her with shame and guilt, and she struggled with how she handled telling Jamal the truth. So basically, during the tell all, Jamal finally explained the real reason why he had been hurt by his mother. He said it wasn't the adoptions themselves that damaged their relationship the most. It was discovering that his own mother had secretly pretended to be him while communicating with his biological brother Larry. When Jamal went into explaining why this really hurt him, I was all with it. He revealed that when Larry first contacted Kim, wanted to meet him, Kim created a fake ass texting account and spent months pretending to be Jamal. And Jamal said when he learned about, did y'all see that fly? When he learned about both the existence of his brother and that his mother was catfishing him, at the exact time, it completely shattered his trust in his mother. And while Jamal and Kim are doing a great job of acting as if they back together, just for them to, just the fear of Kim feeling like anything that was said on the stage was going to affect her relationship, Jamal, means that it's on shaky ground. I think the two of them are doing what they do, and I think that they're in an agreement with each other to do what they do with the whoop whoop and the boop 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 to keep face. But I think behind the scenes, there must be some turmoil that's really going on in this relationship between Kim that think that it's so fragile that just bringing up the subject matter would cause Jamal to backslide. Then she always using her tears. Kim broke down crying because she had to admit that she knew what she was doing was wrong. And then she explained that she panicked because she was afraid of losing her close relationship with Jamal and wanted more time before introducing the brothers. But Kim, you don't get to dictate that. You don't get to dictate that. And Jamal admitted that the entire situation made him feel emotionally manipulated by his mother and robbed him of the chance to naturally build a relationship with his damn brother. And still, despite the pain, he said he and his mother are working through things, rebuilding trust little by little. Of course they are, because everything that's shiny ain't gold. They're going through this thing. He went with her, to England and go and see Wayne and everything. But you could tell there still was animosity because she's going around with this manipulative attitude of everything that I do, I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. Yeah, Kim, you are. The whole thing about the adoption. Now, Jamal did say he does not, his father was trash, right? But at the same time, so was his mother for a span of time. That's just my appointment. Several cast members started, babying Kim while she cried, and Jamal eventually moved from his seat to sit beside her, right? He was hugging her as she was, apologizing. Jamal, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry, repeatedly over and over and over. Despite everything, the emotional bond between them was obvious. But he was just like he's just her security blanket. And it's sad when parents raise their children up to feel like they obligated to heal their parents. You're a parent. Get your together. You did it. You was big enough and bold enough to do it. They also brought Wayne out there, Kim's new relationship, right? And the two of them been dating long distance. I think Kim said like what, 9 months or something like that. She said that she was happy that she had been in years and planned to visit him in the next week or so. And so they, brought Wayne on virtually, and he explained that in England, seeing each other does not automatically mean boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Because Sophie had already broke that down, but he was like, he don't want no damn labels on his relationship, and why should he? He said he only been with her one time. I said they ain't gonna be able to steamroll over Wayne because he got his shit together. He ain't intimidated. He's not intimidated or impressed with this daggone show. He agreed to do it, but at the same time, he said they ain't running him. He ain't no cast member. And I like Wayne. He is a grown man, got his shit together. Vanya was trying to press the point, and Sophie and everybody like, shut up. They questioned why he was reluctant to label the relationship, and Wayne was like, I ain't got to have no name on it. I was married 14 years. I'm free, and I ain't got to label nothing. But Kim, of course, sat there and defended and said that she no longer cared about the labels at her age. Yes, you do, Kim. Because if you didn't, you'd have cut them bitches off early. She explained that after everything she had experienced in her life, she simply wanted peace, companionship, and happiness. And Jamal surprisingly approved Wayne and said he felt Wayne genuinely cared about his mother. Child Courtney and Colt. Colt is either trash or genius or a pimp. I've got to get this fly. I don't even know how I got in here. Colt unloaded months and months of force bull crap on Courtney, and Courtney unloaded months of frustration, disappointment, and anger. She basically accused him of using her for housing, money, and emotional support and attention while disrespecting her behind her back. And why Courtney did not think that he would do that, I don't get it. He's done it with Vanessa. He's done it with every relationship that he has been in, including his own mama. They sitting back there backstage fussing. And for what? Because all Cole is going to do is use words that's over Courtney's level of communication and understanding and comprehension. Till she just looks stupid, in my humble opinion. She accused Cole of living with women while simultaneously cheating, messaging other women, and talking negatively about the people helping him. Courtney specifically referenced him living in her house while communicating with other women and mocking her privately. And then Cole comes back and say, "But you was talking about me." Cole defended himself by claiming she had always been honest in talking to multiple women certain periods of his life. Courtney completely rejected Cole's argument that she was talking about him, that he found out that she was talking. She had a right to talk about him. And she said that he was just manipulative. But Courtney, you put yourself out there because you felt guilty because his fat ass fell in the rain. That did not make you obligated to have to take care of Cole. It just didn't. It just didn't. And then the argument escalated when Jamal came in, and Jamal said that Colt weaponizes sympathy and uses his difficult upbringing to manipulate women into feeling sorry for him. And him and Colty was going back and forth. And what do Jamal do? Want to offer him up to fight? Like, look, young, use your tongue. He coming out saying, I got a degree and I got a big man's job. And Cole was like, I do too. I make video games. I'd ask him who, what, when, where, and why. Who buying them? What game? Zelda? Let me know which game it was. He told Courtney that, basically the lights are not on in the room and that she partly to blame for what she went through with Cole. And Courtney agreed. And Jamal and Courtney basically blamed Cole for playing the victim. Jamal said Colt's entire personality reminded him of emotional manipulation tactics that he had seen before. Eventually, it turned into a screaming match between them. Colt insulted Jamal's maturity and career, and Kim sitting in the middle. And Kim like, hold on, wait a minute, what the is going on? And basically, Jamal was making fun of Cole for depending on women financially and saying he ain't got to live with no woman and her boyfriend. So basically, everybody, Jamal was like, come on, what you want to do? Because, Jamal basically called the man a bitch. And so, Cole was like, okay, okay, it is what it, like it just got out of hand. Next thing you know, Jamal told him, get up. Young, use your tongue. You ain't got to fight all the time. Oh my God, it's right there. Dang it, almost got it. I can't stand a fly. They so nasty. They be on doo doo and everything else, and then bring it in your house and be flying all around with their butt sticking out. I can't. Oh my God, y'all, excuse me in the fly. Excuse me in the fly. Pedro was about to get up, like everybody was getting up, trying to, make them fight. Like, let them fight. Even after everything calmed down, right? Courtney maintained that Colt leaves emotional destruction behind him in every freaking relationship he's in. Talking about emotional destruction, Vanya and Tony, why are they together? They don't even agree on whether to put mayonnaise or mustard on a sandwich. Why are they together? This relationship is so, in my opinion, emotionally toxic. I can barely watch them. And then Vanya Weave is looking like that. I just was like, I God, I ain't got this to do. Are they really gonna force me to sit through this? Vanya and Tony try to make people think that they in love, but it quickly became apparent that their relationship has so many unresolved issues. These are not small issues, these are big issues. Vanya admitted that she had started seeing a side of Tony she never even expected. And that was his level of anger. She said during arguments, he sometimes explodes emotionally and it frightens her. You think I would be with somebody and I'm getting frightened by them? But you can see that he, to me, in my opinion, he's very narcissistic and egotistical. And he just feels like the man is the man is the king and you bow and you obey. He admitted himself that he struggles with emotional regulation and confessed that he occasionally overreacts during conflict. And she insisted that she is insisted and he is insisted that they deeply want this relationship to work. For what? The biggest issue between them is intimacy and having children. Vanya explained that she never wants children. She don't think she's suited for it. She revealed that because of war and trauma during her childhood, she essentially, basically was forced to be a caretaker role for, her, I guess, her siblings and her parents at a very young age. And she said that motherhood will feel like punishment to her rather than fulfillment. What Vanya doesn't understand is that the love and the responsibility and the duties of being a mom is totally different from being a caretaker. I ain't gonna argue with the girl about it because if she feel like she not gonna be a good mother, then don't produce no kids. But the relationship between a mother and a mother and a father and their children is totally different from taking care of a sibling or your parents. It's a whole different love. It's a whole different role and responsibility. But if she feel like she can't do it, don't bring a child in here with that jacked up mind. So I totally agree with her putting her foot down. However, she needs to get out of this relationship with Tony. Because Tony admitted that while he loves Vanya enough to potentially sacrifice having children, the issue still lingers painfully in the back of his mind. And if you got a man that's 50-50 on whether or not he want to have kids, and he feel he's gonna resent you the whole entire relationship. Y'all let me know what y'all think, because I thought that this was a very serious conversation. And then the conversation became emotional when her cousin, what is her name, Sanella, y'all, joined the stage. She accused Tony of emotionally hurting Vanya repeatedly and claimed that Vanya cries constantly because of him. But Vanya got to stop. Here's the thing. You got a girlfriend that's telling you all her business but won't change. Is she coming to you crying? Eventually, my phone gonna be on block because you can't pour into an you can't pour into a full vessel, and you can't pour into a vessel that got a hole. And I have learned over my years that I am not going to pour into somebody who just don't want to listen and don't want to change. And just all the time the victim and coming running back and forth to me, telling me about their man, causing me to dislike them and hate them while you fucking them. Girl, bye. If you don't get up out my face with that bull. Tony said that Vanya exaggerate their issues, which immediately angered multiple cast members because Sophie even called his comment narcissistic. I think he very much is. The decision, the discussion, right, also revealed that Tony's discomfort with Vanya's Latin dancing, and she's saying, I'm not allowed to. Vanya admitted that she had stopped certain styles of dancing, right, because Tony didn't like it. And the other cast members was like whether Vanya was giving up too much of herself to keep Tony comfortable. But Tony argued, right, that their relationship required sacrifice from both of them and pointed out that the long drive and efforts he makes to see Vanya regularly, she need to be grateful for, and that proves that he loves her. No, it don't. Just proves that you like your car. But anyway, despite all the conflict, right, both of them admitted that their emotional connection remains strong. Vanya said that emotional intimacy matters more to her than physical because Tony basically ain't giving it to her because when he go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, he can't get himself together. Girl, you talk about toxic. Well, Tony admitted that he struggles, right, to be physically affectionate when emotional tension exists between them, means that you need to get out this relationship because, in my opinion, that stuff will start turning physical very, very quickly. But by the end of their daggone argument, they agree they likely need counseling. But Tony is saying that Vanya need to set it up. You set it up, you the doctor. Child Liz. Liz is it. All these years, we let Liz play in our face. The reason why Liz was attracted, when we first met Liz, she was an innocent waitress with a little girl she was raising. We could not figure out for the life of us. I know I couldn't. Let me speak for myself. I could not understand why this girl wanted to be with Ed. What was it about Ed that Liz saw? Ed is Liz. Ed, Liz just slept with everybody. Talk about she in her whole era. Liz played in our faces. I don't care what nobody said. Liz knew to play the victim with Ed, and we couldn't. And now Ed is a creep, in my opinion. He ain't, but neither is Liz. Liz, how many times Liz been engaged? 3 times. Ed, the little guy she had at the other thing, no, the always engaged, never married. She played with the guy in the DR. Liz done dated the little boy. She talked about breaking up with Jason. She said that she was pregnant by Jason. She had a miscarriage. They went in and saw some things, and that's how they found the cancer. She said, had that not happened to her, she would have never found the cancer. She said basically Jason had a girlfriend the whole entire time they was together. So this is why she out here breaking hearts. This is why she out in the DR playing with the little dude. This is why she doing that. Because she done went through her stuff with Jason and with Ed and whoever else she's been dating and whoring around with. But y'all remember when she first started dating Ed, she was in the bed with Ed very quickly. It happened very quickly. And introduced him to her child. Hello, somebody. They brought Via out. He was devastated. And she told me, well, maybe if I had known, he said that, he was in love with her and everything. And she said, well, maybe if I had known it would have changed things. I don't know. I was in my whole era. She's sitting over there crying and all of this stuff about the miscarriage and the broken relationships and all of that kind of stuff. Kim walk across the room and it's like Liz is my girl. She like a daughter to me. She like my best friend. I talk to her every day. And what she didn't find out until it was too late for her to find out after everybody was whispering and going back and forth and playing telephone. Kim said, go ahead on and put it out there. Did you sleep with Jamal? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't see that coming. Now, I know some people going to say they saw it coming. Auntie missed that. Because, honey, I'm going to tell you, when they came up with that, I was sitting up on the edge of my seat like, what? I know you're lying. I said, I know. Courtney, of course, started it. Courtney can't even fix her own damn relationship, but she always got some tea she got to be spreading around about somebody else. That's why she be getting over, because she run her mouth too much. I did not see this coming. And I'm going to go hit on it, be all the way a buck 100. I think I know everything sometimes. But I did not see this coming. She had the girl living in her house and her son. These people are pass arounds, in my opinion. They pass around and sleep with everybody. Kim was so mad she walked off the stage. She said, everything I did for your everything all my life, I had to fight. She was color purple mad. Liz is sitting up there engaged to another man. When confronted about it, she gonna say Jamal need to be out here. Kim was like, no, Jamal don't need to be nowhere. I'm gonna tell you what I like when Jamal had got mad, right? And Pedro was like, man, don't think about cooking. And Jamal said, fuck him. I was like, yeah. I was like, you better go ahead. It was some real moments in this. I thought this was a good tell all. I'm telling y'all, I really did. Look, my bum about to come down. It's already twisted to the side and chair. When I tell you when Jamal said that I was crying. Liz is up underneath this woman's roof. I bet you she didn't even have the decency to go to a hotel. I guarantee you she probably did it somewhere in Kim's bathroom in her house. She done been with everybody. She done been with everybody. And don't have no remorse. None. The only thing she's sorry about is that Kim got upset. She ain't sorry she slept with Jamal. Okay. What you say, boo? Okay. Now that's the truth. But guess what? Who ain't slept with Liz? Now that's true. Jamal get around. But Jamal ain't walking around acting like he in no serious relationship. The only relationship that Jamal ever act like he was seriously involved with was Vanessa. Other than that, Jamal's not walking around and acting like, he's some committed guy. But Liz is. Liz goes all the way to DR and sleep with somebody every night she been there. And then come back and tell my eyes, I got a ring. Girl, at this point, you got a whole collection of rings. Because she done been engaged to everybody. Okay, Lisa Lynn. Jamal is not just as guilty, Lisa Lynn, because I disagree with that because Jamal ain't been in no committed relationship. It is what it is with Jamal. Mm-mm. Okay. Jan 854 said, how you slept with another man and 2 weeks later you engaged? I must be doing something. Okay. All while battling cancer. She doing all this. God bless her. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I did not see that comment. Anyway, that is the end of my review, y'all. Yes, Jamal is a player, and he's single, and he should be, and Liz should be too. Stop being in these committed relationships and go ahead on to be the whore you want to be. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Men do it, women can do it too. Just be safe. Anyway, y'all, this is the end of my review. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all better watch this video because people be like, I want long videos. This is a long video, and I need y'all to go ahead on and watch it all the way through. Don't be watching it, don't dag on 3 minutes and then checking out of it. And if you like what you saw here, go ahead on and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I love y'all to pieces, and until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in the street and in the water. And now with 90 Day Fiance Shay in the bathtub. Love y'all. Bye.